This is the book of James, chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 13. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing songs. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let they pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH'S, Yahawaah'S, Bahashem, Rikakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone that rule with honor and diligence. And honor to you brothers out there pushing this truth on the four corners in love and sincerity to, wake up the elect, that are scattered. To the sisters that believe in the truth and support their husbands in the truth, we want to say, shalom to you, and, may the Lord deliver us in these evil times that we're living in. This is a testimony of a healing, of me being healed in LA, a lot of people know, and some people don't. I'm a combat war veteran. Served in Iraq, and I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, PTSD. I was diagnosed with anxiety and other what you would call mental illnesses or sicknesses, that are associated with war veterans, shell shock, and other things. And for a long time now, I had been dealing with panic attacks, anxiety attacks, I have been ailed with these very frequently, very often, some nights even out of my sleep, I would have these attacks, and I at first I was, I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong with me, I didn't know, what was going on exactly, and I went, I buckled down and went to the VA, and they told me I had all these things, and I just, over the years, I just accepted it as, my thorn in the flesh, and and just, did my best to just keep doing the work, or try not to let it affect my mind to the point where it becomes a stressor, that's what happens when you have a thorn in your flesh. In the truth, you just learn to deal with it and keep moving forward, But I had been having them very frequently, when they first started out, I would think I was having a heart attack, because the symptoms are a lot similar to a heart attack, chest pain, pain shooting up your left arm, and it's pain in the center of your back, weakness, exhaustion, among other things, beating, palpitations, When it first started, I would think I was having heart attacks, I would go to the emergency room, thinking I was having a heart attack, they kept telling me, oh, you're not having a heart attack, so, one day, they sent me to a specialist, and he told me, oh yeah, you're a veteran. Often veterans have these things. It's post-traumatic stress, and you have anxiety, and you have, panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and I was just like, okay, well, I know I'm not having a heart attack, and through going back and forth to the hospital, eventually my faith built up to the point where, I was like, well, if the Lord wanted to kill me, a hospital can't save me anyway, But, I just started dealing with it, over the years, been dealing with it, all this time, sometimes more frequently, sometimes less frequently, but recently we made this trip to LA with the brothers, and it was a beautiful trip. The spirit was moving, the spirit was moving heavy out there, and we just saw that LA is pretty much finished, and through, but the brotherhood out there, the brothers are beautiful brothers, all on fire for the truth, and after camp we had a little get together where all the brothers could hang out and meet each other, just like we usually do at any other camp that we go and visit. Usually after camp we have a get together, and we was all having a good time. We was all having a good time as usual, and I was up talking to the brothers and laughing, and just talking, just meeting the brothers, meeting new brothers that I saw and had never met, was talking with them, and out of nowhere, this feeling of having a panic attack, it hit, and the first time it hit, I was in the kitchen, and I felt it coming on, so I went and sat on the couch, and I was on the couch, and I guess the one of the elders out there, Elder Yashawamba, he said, hey brother, you all right? He seen me, he noticed that there was something going on, and I was like, well, I said, yeah, I'm okay, just dealing with this body, and and I was like, well, hey brother, you mind saying a little prayer for me? And he said, yeah, and he took me back in the room and he anointed me, and instantly, after I walked out the room, I was okay, and I went back to hanging out with the brothers and having a good time, laughing, and about 35 to 45 minutes later, it came back, and I was in the kitchen, the feeling started coming back. I was in the kitchen, so I sat down, in a chair by the kitchen, and I was praying, and I was rebuking Satan, and two other elders, the Elder Tazawam of Atlanta and the Elder Tazawam of Wisconsin, they noticed me kind of sitting there slumped over, and they both came, and they said, it was like, one of the brothers came and was like, man, you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm okay, just, dealing with this flesh, and then, while I was talking to him, the other elder walked up and was like, brother, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just dealing with this flesh. So they anointed me, with oil, and they prayed over me, right there where I was sitting at, and, I don't think anybody else noticed what was going on. We were just sitting there, and the brothers prayed over me, and it left immediately again. And, and I got up and I started having a good time talking to brothers, and, hanging out with the brothers again, and, how we do. We have spiritual conversation and talk about, we was talking about mainly how the Lord delivered us at camp earlier. The police had surrounded the camp, and the Lord lifted up a standard, and they couldn't do nothing to us, man. So that was big talk, and then among other things, joking, laughing, and then spiritual conversations. Brothers were talking about dreams that they had, and it hit me again, and the third time it hit me, it was the worst. It was the worst out of all of them. That demon, attacked me again, and I was talking to a brother, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, excuse me, brother," and I went and I sat on the couch, and I was rebuking it, I was rebuking it, and I was praying. And the brother from Kansas City, my lawyer, I guess he noticed me from across the room. He came and sat down next to me. He was like, "Hey, brother, you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay," In which I was in a full blown panic attack, and and I was just having faith that I was healed because brothers had prayed for me already, and I was just having faith that the Lord was working things out, and so I was just sitting there, and he said, "Brother, I'm go get some of the elders, and we're gonna anoint you, and we're gonna pray over you." And I said, "Well, hey, brothers prayed already, I'll be all right." He said, "Well, maybe, he said, maybe, you need all the brothers to pray for you." And I was like, "Okay." So, I was sitting on the couch, and I was in a full blown panic attack, heart racing, pain in the center of my back, I was sweating, and just all of these things that are associated with having a panic attack, and the brothers called me outside, and I was and they put a chair, they set a chair out there, and they anointed me, and the brother, the brother from Atlanta said, "Yeah, do you believe?" I said, "Yeah, I believe that I'm okay," and the brothers pour oil on my head, and the brothers, prayed for me a third time, and it was the camp heads, of California, Dallas, Kansas City, Missouri, Wisconsin, Atlanta, and I believe that was all. Of course, LA, and the brothers, they anointed my head with oil, and they prayed for me yet a third time, and in my head I was just telling the Lord, I believed I was healed the first time that brother prayed. The brother prayed for me, I believe, and I just kept saying in my head, I believe, I believe I'm healed, and I remember that after the brothers prayed for me, it's like all the brothers, they pressed down on me, like I was sitting in the chair, and they pressed down on me in the chair, and I was still feeling, I was still feeling sick, while I was sitting there, and I was just confirming with the Lord, I believe I'm healed. I believe I'm healed. I don't, and I was like, I was just telling Satan, you got to go, and the brothers, after they prayed for me, they all pressed down on me in the chair, and I remember they said, "Hey, brother, hey, just keep believing," and they let me go, And even when they let me go, I was still feeling sick, you know. But when I stood up out of the chair, I felt all of that, everything that was ailing me, I felt it go through my back, like as if it was still sitting in that chair. And then in the front of me, coming in the front of me, I felt like energy. I felt the spirit of the Lord, you know. I just felt a boost of energy. And I remember when I stood up, I almost jumped off the ground because I felt a boost of energy, you know. And immediately at that minute, I was healed. And for the rest of that night, that sickness, that ailment never returned, man. You know. And I remember, you know, I was saying Thawada YAHAWAH'S, but in my spirit, I was still troubled because, you know, I said, Lord, I believe when the brother prayed for me the first time, you know, and I was praying to the Lord about it, you know, like, well, Lord, is there anything I did wrong? Is this what's going on, Lord? You know, I was just, you know, I was just praying to the Lord. These people out here got demons on them too, man. They driving crazy. You know, I was praying to the Lord, and I said, Lord, was there anything I didn't do right? Did I not believe? You know, the first time? And I was just, you know, and treating the Lord like, you know, Lord, what happened? What did I do wrong? And that night, the Lord didn't answer me, you know. And so that next morning, you know, I was praying, and I was like, you know, ask the Lord for forgiveness, and I was, you know, and I was inquiring the Lord, like, you know, Lord, what happened? What did I do something wrong? Did I not believe? And the Spirit told me, the Lord told me, I wanted to show everybody my power through them. You know, and I was comforted, you know, because, you know, when those first brothers prayed for me, I was healed. But the Lord wanted all of those brothers to see it that were out there. The Lord wanted all those brothers out there to see it, that the Lord is dealing with us, man, on a higher level, man. Hey, brothers are getting healed. You know, I got healed. I haven't had a panic attack since. You know, and that was Saturday night. And the flight that we took back Monday morning was turbulence all the way from California, and not once did I get nervous. I don't like flying. And my brother Ash was sitting next to me. You know, he was sitting next to me, and he don't really like flying either. He got nervous, and I looked at him and I smiled and I said, "We're gonna be all right," you know. But you know, from that moment forward, I was healed, and I haven't had a panic attack since. And I'm believing in my spirit that I won't never have one again. You know, because I've been dealing with that since 2005. You know, since even before I got in the truth. You know. So, you know, all we have to do is have faith and believe, you know, that the Lord is going to heal us, man, that the Lord is going to do these things for us, man, you know, and our faith has to be unwavering, you know, because, you know, Satan did try to get in my mind and say, yeah, it's going to come back. And I said, no, it's not. I'm healed, you know, and I immediately rebuked Satan and told him, no, it's not going to come back because I'm healed, you know. You know, but yeah, I just wanted to share this testimony, you know, of what the Lord did for me, man, and you know, I'm excited. You know, I'm grateful. I'm thankful to YAHAWAH'S, man, because, you know, I've been dealing with these attacks for years, you know, And now I feel confident that they're gone forever. That I won't have another one, man. You know. So I just wanted to share that. You know, hopefully that'll boost brothers' faith. You know, and you know, when you're praying through a situation, when you're dealing with a situation, you got to have unmovable faith for these things to work that you're praying for. Your faith has to be unmovable. And even if Satan comes in your mind and tells you no, you not, even if that feeling comes back even for an instant, you still have to believe that you're healed, that's gone. You know, you have to believe, man. You know. So call all YAHAWAH'S for healing me, and for the faith boosting testimony that I'm able to share with all of you Akim, you know, around abroad, you know, of what happened to me out in LA, you know. And you know, may the Lord continue to bless and increase your faith, all of you that are sincere, you elect members through YAHAWAH'S, and and continue to deliver you, man, in these evil times, you know. And shalom.